What is up everyone, Granola's here with another North Tower Defense video. Today's video is gonna be about the troops, and this is the second guide that I'm sharing with you all. So before we start, I do want to say that this is more of my knowledge about the game, because troops actually changes from one player to another. I'm gonna share my knowledge about it and what do I believe that will help you all to make as much progress as possible. And I don't know everything, but hopefully I'm gonna cover everything in the right way. If you guys think differently or anything like this, please share it down in the comments below and let us all know about it. So let's start. So troops actually divides into 4 different tiers. It goes by common, rare, epic, and legendary, also known as green, blue, purple, and orange. It changes by single target, multi-target, and support. Each one of the tiers and also the troops kinds actually have the formation for it. So if you go to the edit, for example, you cannot change the support unit into a single target one or a multi-target one, and also the other way around. But you can actually change the tower itself, for example, from the support unit to another. Doesn't matter the tier itself. So people do make some weird combinations between all of them, and those combinations actually comes very handy if you're using different kind of equipments, but this is for another video. So let's continue with only the troops. So in order to level up each troop, you're going into its card and click on the enhance part, and over here you can see each troop have different kind of skills. Each one of them actually gives different benefits, especially for different units. And the difference between each tier is actually how good the troop itself. Now, in order to level up those troops, you have to get shards. Now, for example, as you probably saw already over here, if I go to the enhance part on the top right corner, you can see that I have 16,000 shards of common. Now, I don't level up this green troop because I'm not using it, and what I'm doing correctly, I'm going to the alchemy shop and I'm using those green shards in order to get more blue shards, in order to use those blue shards in order to get more purple shards. The reason for that is I'm at the moment using only epic build and I don't use anything else. That's why I'm leveling only the epics. And if you probably seen, or if you probably saw my previous videos, or you're gonna see it in the future, then you can see that I had, for example, the single target bowman leveled, I think 25 or something. And the reason for that is because I made progress early game, leveling up the bowman and getting as much power as possible, and then I moved on and actually resetted the bowman in order to get more shards, and that's why I have 16k right now shards. Now, what I highly recommend you all to do, since we are all starting at the same point and only having the green units, I highly recommend you all to push the campaign. And the reason for that is whenever you start the game, you don't have as many places to put troops in as I have right now, and we do want to make as much progress as possible as soon as possible. So whenever you push the campaign, you get more spots open, and also you unlock more and more tiers. And whenever you do unlock them, you must make sure that you're using your best troops in the game in order to make progress. So what I've done is actually using those troops, I leveled them up and then I resetted them using the arena place, going to the shop, and as you can see over here, for example, I do have it already, and it's a tower reset crystal. So I used that and I resetted my level up. So feel free to use those. You're getting more and more daily arena shards, or these teeth things, in order to use them in the shop, so don't worry about it. About the builds themselves, the formations, so a lot of people had problems against the bombing cards, and what I highly recommend you all is to use the axeman, for example, since it's also the ship's problems and also the siege, and also using more single target units like a higher troop. For example, for me, it was really the throwing axeman and also the musketeer. And also make sure to level up the ice spell, but I'm gonna talk it later on in the next video probably about the spells themselves. and the combinations actually changes about the formation I'm talking about right now. It really changes if you're talking about more of a PvP player or more of a campaign push. As you can see over here, I'm leveling up mostly the hoplites and also the ice wizards. So ice wizards, for example, for my build at the moment, isn't like the best unit, but it's the best for the air unit that I'm using against right now, that I'm facing. And that's why I'm leveling up these units so much. And over the hoplite, for example, I'm using it more for the PvP. So it really changes from one player to another, and you can see probably using storm generator or ballistas that are also good, and I don't know, maybe some winged riders or griffins. So it really changes from player to another and the way that level things up. Just make sure that you're using your best build and level them up correctly. Also, if you go to the leaderboards and actually check out by power, for example, check for the second place, I don't know, clicking randomly right now, and you check their build right now, you can see that he's using also legendary, epic, and rare units. And as I said before, they're using even the engineers, which are really good. And the reason they mix up everything is because they have also different equipment for all of them. So different equipments also work for different units. So in order to get the most benefit out of everything, just combine whatever you need in order to make as much progress as possible, as fast as possible as well. But the reason I'm using this build at the moment is because hoplite's really good for PvP, also for ships and also ground units. The cannons are good for swarms, and also the ice wizards, as I said earlier, are really good against the air units that are really hard for me at the moment. I guess this is it at the moment right now. In order to get more units, as I said earlier in the previous guide, you go to the shop, buy all of the coins, as you can see over here in the top left, and then you get more gold. Also, go to the plunder and use all of them in the gold plunder in order to get as much progress as possible, as many gold as possible, and go to the edit and get as many units as possible. And also about here, people ask me what to use, if to use only 1 star, the regular one, or more. So I'm using 1 star in order to get as many achievements as possible. And also I'm combining all of them. I'm actually going by type, combining them just like this in order to make as many achievements as possible. And then I'm just gonna use them and recycle and get better tire and then keep on leveling things up. I guess this is it for now, guys. I'm gonna share the next video with you soon, hopefully. Hope you'll enjoy. And shit, I don't know why I've done this, totally by mistake. So yeah, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. I really hope the devs will do something about this update and really help us out. So cheers, guys.